From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen. 8 minutes into the second hour. We're here Monday through Friday, 12 noon to 4 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining us today. In the last hour, I went over the new fake bin Laden tapes. They've been forced to admit that past tapes have been fake. They're now bringing him back as the boogeyman to sell new wars, naked body scanners, police state domestically. I believe with Obama's approval rating plunging, their entire agenda for the government takeover of health care, for new wars, for the flu hoax falling on its face, the Copenhagen global tax falling on its face. I've been saying for months that I believe they're getting ready to launch a new false flag terror attack. That is coming up later in the broadcast. We're going to be breaking that down. Also, we've got just incredible video and photos of new police brutality. Breaking arms, breaking legs, beating people half to death for no reason on video, and then charging them with assaulting the police. A new level of corruption, a new level of open tyranny and evil. They don't even care if you have video of it, and it's clearly a fraud. They're that secure in their criminal activity. So we're going to be going over that as well. Obviously, in the last hour, I spent the lion's share of our time together going over the fact that the Justice Department admits they're running a nationwide program, but particularly in the border states, under the guise of stopping weapons trafficking into Mexico, problem, reaction, solution. Though most of the guns are sold to the drug cartels by the military and the police, and that's on record. They're fully automatic. A lot of Mexicans are buying guns here to go back to Mexico to protect themselves. Mexico has total gun ban for citizens. You notice they have one of the highest crime rates in the world and are on the verge of collapsing. Also, drugs are illegal there. That drives up the price. Drug prohibition is what is allowing this to happen. But they're through a hoax saying that private gun sales are illegal. Earlier, I played a KI piece from here in Austin that was completely twisted and said the police are just enforcing the law. There's illegal gun sales going on. You've got to sign paperwork and go to an FFL dealer to buy guns. They've passed laws in many other states. They're trying in Texas to, quote, get rid of the gun show loophole. And what they do with that is the way the laws are written in other states, what they've tried to pass in Texas, since 2000, they've tried over and over again. What they're trying to do is pass laws where a grandfather can't give his grandson a .22 rifle. They're trying to pass laws where your father dies and you can't be given his guns. It's got to be gone through the feds and transferred to you. That's the gun show loophole. Private sales of guns. I can sell my neighbor a gun. I can sell one of my employees a gun. They can sell me a gun. You've seen the federal regulation. In fact, pull up that article for me. Prison time for garage sale. A list of tens of thousands of recalled items. You have no idea what's going on. The feds are deputizing local police with special units to harass bazaars, flea markets, garage sales. They're busting people all the time at garage sales, selling a couple of their guns. This is illegal, what they're doing, but the news all over the country is running hoax reports. It's now national news, what happened in Austin, where they shut down the Austin Gun Show. First, they denied that. Now they say they did it through nuisance abatement or the crack house law. So we're going to be breaking that down more, and I want to just remind listeners that I get so tied down. Yeah, that's McClatchy Newspapers, feds cracking down on garage sales. Try to give me the Fox one where it actually says jail time or jail time for garage sales Fox News or garage sales Fox News. The search should pull it up. People won't believe that unless they actually see the articles. That was McClatchy there. Okay, we need to stand up against this. We need to say no to this. And there's a bigger issue to just the Second Amendment and them shutting down the gun show as a case point example. And that is that they did this without a law, and the media now is engaged in a hoax saying it was the law. So the police under federal control, and Art Aceveda obviously supports this, the police chief, are just saying, we don't care We're going to do what we want to do. We don't care. We can't pass this through the legislature, so we're just going to do this. And the Attorney General needs to get involved with what's happening in Austin, because the police are, quote, the authorities. And if they just start making stuff up, and I know a lot of police officers are upset about this. I've got a lot of emails from Austin police, phone calls from Austin police. We've had calls from police all over the country. They don't like this. In national polls, 98%. And a police survey a few years ago believe in the Second Amendment, believe we need less laws, not more. So there are a lot of good police out there, but there are a lot of bad ones being protected and bad ones being promoted. And so I don't want to paint with a broad brush here, but the leadership is bad and is out of control. And Art Acevedo may think that he can have warrantless checkpoints for blood. He couldn't. He went to the legislature, got him to pass a law they could take blood without warrants. But I've talked to local judges and others. They say it will be overturned by the Texas Supreme Court. But for the time being, he's out there. And he really believes, that we'll save some people if we do this. It doesn't matter. You don't go down that road. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now, going back to Police Chief Art Acevedo and the fact that we're going to be protesting tonight down at the Austin Police Department. Local Austinites have organized this. 5 to 7 p.m. I'm going to be there in front of the Austin Police Department, 715 East 8th Street, IH-35 and 8th Street. If you live outside Austin, you come right down I-35. You take the 11th to 6th Street exit. You get off. It's on the west side of the highway, and there's plenty of parking underneath the overpass there, free parking. There's also meters if you want to pay or can't find parking. You park, get there at 5. The media will attempt, because they have a playbook on fooling people and lying. They enjoy it, the power trip. They will try to show up at 4:30 and only shoot 5 or 6 people. Only videotape 5 or 6 people and say that was the protest. It won't matter if we have 500. But we now can expose them. I know they're listening right now, but it's not going to work. That's the great thing. They keep acting like the internet isn't there, and that's why they're destroying themselves. So you watch. I'm calling it now. The media will be there. They will show up before 5. They will shoot their piece. When 10 people are there, they will leave. They will not show 200, 300, 400 people. That will be another lesson to you in media fraud, media corruption, how they operate. You saw them early on in the Tea Party say, oh, it's just a few people, a few hundred, and there was 200,000. And then another one, they said there was 100,000, and there was more like 1 million. And that's what the D.C. police said. Or they said early last year, Republicans were financing the entire Tea Party. That became a self-fulfilling prophecy as the Republicans did actually take it over. But at the time, Governor Rick Perry, Senator Cornyn here in Austin would go to tea parties and be booed off the stage. And I tried to make that point. Then the Republicans did come in and take over a lot of it. But it was Ron Paul movement, the 9/11 Truth movement before him that started the tea parties. So we're going to be going over that today. I'm going to be there from about 4:30 until 7 o'clock tonight. Everybody needs to come out to this event. If the feds send provocateurs, I'm going to expose you. That may make them not come because I'm going. That's the main reason I've got to go. Because I'm going to identify you and I'm going to neutralize you with my video camera. I'm going to neutralize you. I'm going to expose you. So I know you're coming. We're going to be there. I'm going to have cameras on me 24/7. If one of their hired anarchists tries to attack me or something, that's who works for them. But we're going to be there. We need everybody in strength. This is the Alamo, folks. This is where they're going after the Second Amendment right here in the land of Colonel Travis. They are going after our precious Second Amendment, and I want to see everybody there tonight. The police department straddles 8th Street and 6th Street. It's in between 8th Street and 6th Street, right off I-35 on the west side. You cannot miss it. Now, one local group involved in kicking this off, Texas for Accountable Government, that does a lot of great work, I've noticed, they're saying bring holsters with copies of the Constitution in them. Just the holsters alone will scare the media to death. These people are so pathetic, how domesticated they've become. But, yeah, I'll be there handing out evil pocket constitutions as well. And the police are taught that those are basically illegal. You don't believe me? I know that sounds asinine. We have Abby Newman pulled over to checkpoint. They find a pocket Constitution. The police start breathing heavy and go, oh, my God, we've got an extremist. We've got contraband. And they start asking the other commander, is this legal? And he says, I think she's allowed to maybe have that. The good guy thinks maybe she's allowed to have a pocket Constitution. That's on video. So that's what these people have turned into. Now, it's not just the Second Amendment that's under attack. It's also the First Amendment. And coming up later in the hour, I'm going to play this Mark Dice video. I think his most powerful work to date. Mark's working right now. He can't come on until Thursday, but we'll have him here. And all of you could do the type of things Mark Dice does. And his videos get hundreds of thousands, in some cases millions of views.